Yo, Gino, are you going to Serious Business next year?
You know what, Corey? Absolutely. It's January 16th through the 18th in New Orleans. I wouldn't miss it.
Gino, you've been to quite a few of these. What keeps bringing you back?
You know what, honestly, it's not just the education, it's the whole experience. General sessions at the classic Sanger Theater, breakouts at the Roosevelt Hotel, it's on a different level.
And who would you say it's for?
Oh man, it's for salon and spa owners who want to get serious about their business themselves, not just strategy, their personal stuff, mindset, wellness, work-life balance. It's the whole picture.
That sounds like way more than a conference.
It's way more. You leave with real action items and you leave energized every single time.
All right, for real, I'm in. How do I get tickets?
Well, it's super easy. You just go to seriousbusiness.net, you grab your spot before it fills up.
So it's seriousbusiness.net. You will see Gino and I in New Orleans, January 16th through the 18th. See you then. Hey, welcome to your day off. My name is Corey, and I'm the host of this here podcast. Hey, today my good friend Gino Chapman flew all the way in from Los Angeles. He did a red eye. I don't know how he did a red eye. Like a red eye from like LA to Chicago is just nonsense because it's like 3 hours.
You flew in pretty much a red eye this morning.
You know what? I was thinking about that this morning. Like we boarded at 2:30 and you boarded. I'm sorry. I woke up at 2:30. You boarded at 11:30, which was 2:30 my time. Right? Is that right? I think the math works. Yeah, that time. So
Sure.
that was kind of weird.
I know.
Yeah, right. So you know, when we do these shows, it's very often that we end up like having 24-hour days. You know, I'll go to bed tonight and be like, and if I do the math, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 24 hours. You know,
I think I only slept in 24 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, they're marathon days for sure.
Yeah,
they're
totally.
crazy, right?
Yeah, but we're savages,
So
and this is what
wild.
we do.
Totally. So, hey, listen, all that noise that you hear in the background, that's me very happily saying that we are in Chicago, or Rosemont, Illinois, downtown district of Rosemont, Illinois. But hey, we're at the ABS hair show, the American Beauty Show. Super big shout outs to Frank and to Megan, who, Megan, I can't tell you how much love I have for her. She's definitely an advocate for us. She's an advocate for me, and she does a lot of the work to allow us to come here. This year is really super special because I actually absolutely love the spot that we're at. This year we're ABS has like a classroom, and we're in the classroom lobby, and I think we have the biggest booth out here or something. But it's pretty dope. So
this is the booth right here.
this is the booth. So definitely, if you watch our video, definitely give us a look. We're pretty happy with our space here, and just the location that we're at. But you know, once again, if you hear booming and bopping in the background, yeah, we're at a hair show, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Also, major shout out to Serious Business. Thank you to the Neal family and to the Neal group there. Thank you. They are sponsoring the podcast booth this year. Serious Business is serious business. It is. It's definitely one of my favorite. I can't even really call it a hair show because to me it's so much different and so much deeper than just.
I think we called it a hair show, a festival.
Yep.
A festival of business.
Yep.
Of sorts.
Yep. And I love, and we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. I kind of love how Serious Business kind of like fills those gaps.
Mhm.
I think is the best way to say it, fills those gaps that a regular hair show misses. You know, so whether it's like for mental health or whether it's for just feeling good about yourself, or if it's about the business, the accounting and all that stuff. But they also do this really great way of just like, it's like a mental health. It's kind of like a TED talk all day.
Yeah.
When we're talking about mental health, we're talking about all this stuff. And I know when I was fortunate enough to go 2 years ago, I guess now, that I couldn't go pee because my FOMO was so high. I thought I was missing something. And it's like a day, again, it's like a day of TED Talks, and like to not be able to leave for that.
But I think that's the beautiful thing. It's these bite-sized pieces of information for hairdressers who are living in space most of the time. It's nice that you can listen to beautiful presenters and deliver information in these places and spaces where you feel good, and then you can move on to the next. And I think as a creative person who wants to understand their business more, for me, it is absolutely a wonderful place to be.
I couldn't agree. I could not agree more. It's different. It's great. I highly recommend everybody show up in 2027. It's also, it's very cool because it's in New Orleans. It's in January. So, you know, you want to leave You want to leave your house and go to New Orleans in
You want to
January.
stay there a few days.
Exactly.
Extra, you know?
Next year, so 2027, it is January 16th through the 18th. Again, if you're ready to level up, if you're ready to change your life, we will see you in New Orleans at Serious Business. Okay, so to bring this full circle, we were actually supposed to do this podcast while we were at Serious Business back in January. Apparently, Gino posted for the podcast, but I couldn't quite make it. So, the podcast just didn't happen. But Gino was ready. They're willing to do it.
I was walking around with one of those little plastic microphones that echoes. Nobody wanted to talk.
Nobody.
No.
Well, it's probably not the microphone.
True.
True story there. So on the podcast today is, and I'm not going to attempt the last name.
Manukyan.
Manukyan. Oh, like the honey.
Almost. We like the honey. Sweet and good for you. Like the honey. Manuka.
Sweet
Sweet
Manukyan.
and good for you. What?
Fantastic. See?
Her hair's kind of honey color.
Oh, what? We're like, what?
Hey, listen, not to sidetrack a little bit, but I just put beehives in my yard, so I'm hoping to get like
That's actually very cool.
after year two, we get like 70 pounds of honey. Which
What?
I've never eaten a pound of honey.
Well, you need to send me some honey.
Okay,
I would love.
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a story too. We'll get to you, Anna.
Cool. I'm very invested in your honey journey. Go on.
Are you really?
I totally am.
So I don't know about, you're in LA as well,
Uh-huh.
Anna. So I don't know about LA, but like on the East Coast where I live, we are just getting slammed by these spotted lantern flies. So they're these, once again, they're these like the Asian flies, and they're killing our crops.
Oh wow.
Like they tell you, they're the cutest little things, you know, they're like red, they're beautiful, they're red and they're spotted and all that stuff.
Oh, I know they are.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but they're destroying crops, and the government literally says, kill them or they'll kill you, kind of thing. Not that they're poisonous, but you know, they eat the crops and stuff. However, the bees love lanternfly poop
Interesting.
because they eat all the pollen. That's what's killing it. And then the bees will actually like whatever
What?
pollinate from their poop. Here's the deal though. There's a lot of new studies that are saying it's also a much more amber and deeper of honey
Okay.
when they do it. But they think that there's better medicinal properties than in Manuka honey.
Interesting.
And I don't know if that's
Lanternfly honey poop.
lantern. It's
How do you
yeah, it's
think they're
like
going to
lantern
brand that?
Just
Husband honey?
really
It's
good.
golden.
Exactly. So and we on the East Coast we usually get clover honey, and the lanternfly honey, which you take in the spring, and the lantern I don't know why we're going here, but the lanternfly you actually harvest in the fall, so you actually get two harvests, which you normally only get one harvest. But that's beside the point. Anna, welcome to the podcast. Right? So much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Yeah, thank you for. We were talking earlier, and I apologize for not making it in January, but we do these things when we're supposed to do these
Of course.
things.
Perfect time is now.
Perfect time is now.
Universe said today.
That's it exactly. You never doubt the universe.
Yeah.
It's always right. I just heard a quote about the universe. Oh, here's the quote about the universe. The universe has no stress. Stress is only how we react to the universe. Boom. I love that.
Love that.
I love
Universe
that,
has
right?
no stress. Stress is how we react to the universe.
I love it.
That's a good one. That's a solid. That's gold.
That's cool.
Put that on a package.
There you go.
Put it on the bee honey.
You know what? That's it.
Yeah.
Stress-free universe poop, I guess. What up? So Anna, you're on like the ABS team.
I know I'm on the board. I'm the treasurer actually. So
Really?
I financed a little too hard, and now I'm the president of the board.
Really?
Goodness.
Yeah.
How'd you come about that?
I started serving on the board on the board of directors 2.5 years ago, and then this year was appointed and voted in treasurer.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
How do you get like treasure? Like that's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
how do you get that?
Well, I have been focusing the last few years of my career on really trying to navigate the world of finance for beauty professionals, and so it made kind of the perfect sense of making numbers attainable, and being the treasurer has a little bit to do with that. So
Did the ABS give you like a background check or anything?
I don't know. I don't know if they would have.
You're like, what's going on with this woman with the
What?
sweetest honey hair?
What's going on?
So where are you from originally?
Originally, originally,
The
I was
OG.
the OG. The
Where was
OG.
Baby
So-
Anna?
Well, Baby Anna was born in Baku, Azerbaijan. You did not see that one coming. My mom
No, I
was
don't even know
born-
what you said.
So my mom was born in legit Siberia,
Got it.
like actual Siberia.
Uh-huh.
My dad. Oh, I've got a story for you. You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
trip out. My dad was born in Tehran, Iran. My parents, my dad's family immigrated to to the Soviet Union, and they settled in Azerbaijan. And my dad, when he was 12, went to the conservatory in former Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, to the music conservatory, and was an entrepreneur early on, and spent 2 years in Russian federal prison for selling Levi's. Because anything,
'cause it's Western?
because it was Western, so it was considered contraband. So he was arrested, spent 2 years in a Russian prison, and then was sent to essentially like a workers' camp upon his release,
Concentration camp?
kind of,
Mhm.
in northern Russia, where my mom's family lived. Because he was a musician, he was started playing the dances. My mother saw him, fell madly in love, and they got married, and then moved back to Baku. Had me, which is kind of ridiculous. Just what a story that that's where I was born. When I was 2 years old, we moved to Odessa for about 2 years, and then we moved to Estonia. And then when the Soviet Union was collapsing, we got out of there as political refugees because it was getting wild.
And then what was your point of entry
Point of entry,
into the U.S.?
Into the U.S., where we were fortunate in that my aunt, my dad's older sister, had immigrated first, and they were in Glendale, which is like the largest Armenian population outside of Armenia, and
True.
sent for everybody essentially to be able to come over, and sponsored us and all of those things. So I came straight to LA. Was very, very fortunate to land straight in Los Angeles.
Did you say what your dad played?
He played guitar. He played ran different instruments.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so it's
so
kind of
wild. So how old were
interesting.
you?
So I was 9 when we came.
Oh, awesome.
Mm.
So did you speak Russian or
So I spoke Russian. Funny story is I actually learned English and Armenian simultaneously because when we immigrated, there was in Russia, you didn't do anything different. Like if you spoke a different language, that was viewed
So
upon
you
as
have
like,
memories of living in Russia?
oh, of course I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely I do. And so when we moved to the US, I spoke no English. My first actual full sentence, besides my name is Anna, was "It's not your business." So if somebody, because I was so embarrassed of not knowing.
No, really?
And so I was this tough little kid that when somebody would ask me like, I don't know, something, and I didn't understand them versus saying, I don't know, or I don't speak English, my response would be, it's not your business. Really.
It's like that's like
It's not your, no, it is your serious.
It is your
No, it is
serious
your
business.
business now.
That's right. So did your mom speak Farsi?
My dad speaks Farsi. We grew up in the house speaking Russian. And then because I didn't speak any English and because there are Glendale, where we moved to, had such a high population of Armenians, nobody spoke Russian. And so, I told my dad at the time, like, how about you teach me Armenian and I will teach you English. Let's learn this together. Because I wanted to be, to fit in with the kids at school.
Sure.
And so, yeah, throughout, I think I was out of ESL classes by the following year. And then I speak fluent Armenian now as well. So I'm able to.
So what are your languages?
Russian, Armenian, and English.
That's it. No Farsi.
No Farsi, no.
You know my favorite food in the world.
Persian food. Oh, so good.
My
So good. Yeah,
Your
Then
Persian
you need
food?
to come. You need to come to our side of town.
See,
Worth your
Yeah.
while. I promise we'll make it worth your while.
I'm coming in October.
Fantastic.
Rafi's
It's a
it
date.
is.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Win Clayball. That's where we're going.
Oh shoot.
I don't know. We got some good Persian restaurants, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all right.
We'll do
Yeah.
a battle of the coast. How about that?
But let's do it.
Or come over and I'll cook for you. You guys come over for
I'm
dinner.
kind of a vegetarian though. Can you hook me up?
Of course I can.
I eat fish though.
I got you.
We have
I
a
got you.
Persian restaurant in DC. Next time you're in DC, we're going there. It's called Rumi's Kitchen. RUMI. Like
Uh-huh.
the,
Oh
like
yes, I've been there.
You been to Rumi's
Yeah,
Kitchen?
I've been to Rumi's Kitchen. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
had the sea bass? It's
No.
the best sea bass I've ever had. It's like marinated in like this saffron butter.
Yum.
Oh
Yum.
my! Oh,
Oh.
it like melts in your mouth. Ah,
Yeah.
exactly. Wow. So okay, back. Oh, sorry. Now we're on food again. So what? How'd you find the hair?
So funny enough, so coming here at 9 years old, and my dad has a physical disability, and I saw literally the second day we were in the country, he went to work. Like the second day, he went delivering those pizza flyers on door to door with a physical disability. Who was walking through the neighborhoods doing that. And so early on, I literally saw the fact that you've got to hustle, you've got to work hard. Like this is not a country; it'll take care of you, and there's a lot of resources, but you've got to hustle, you've got to work.
Mhm.
And so, I started working when I was 12. And at 15, I fell in love with the hair industry when I started working at a hair salon as a receptionist. It was my first full-time job, and I thought I
Ooh,
had
what
like
salon?
Headline Salon, Magnolia.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's interesting because I very quickly, very, very quickly fell in love with like, oh my God, you can be creative. You can make a ton of money. I love how the camaraderie of the salon was. And I was thinking, this is kind of like the best of all worlds. And so funny enough, because I was a hustler and overachiever, like typical overachiever, oldest child, immigrant, trying to get the most done, I signed myself up for beauty school, graduated high school a year early, and went and told my dad, like pulled up to our apartment building. He met me outside and I said, I signed up myself for beauty school. I'm starting next week. Morrow's Beauty School. They're no longer there on Brands in Glendale. And do you know what my father said to me? He was very upset and looked at me and said, we brought you to the United States so you can cut hair. How dare you embarrass the family? True story. And that was essentially my
Hold on,
origin point.
stop. So, I mean, did it crush you,
It was the origin
or did you
story.
motivate it?
It was
Both.
literally a hold my beer and let me show you how successful a career in beauty can be.
Yeah.
Because I saw firsthand, even back then, at such a young age, of no, you can absolutely do this. Like I saw the success of that these people were having, the lifestyles that they were living, the satisfaction that they were getting from the
Wait,
work.
what year was this?
This is, oh my goodness.
She's 23.
I was like 17 at this point in this conversation. I started everything very, very early in life. I was adulting. When I was 20, you guys, I used to joke that I'm going to be the 55-year-old at the club because I was doing none of that. So now I'm grinding now, I'm building now. When I'm 50 and 60, that's when you're going to see me.
Well, you found the right people then.
Exactly. Right. Crushed me or not.
Yeah.
No, it was very much a motivator. And because it was a let me show you, I was very intentional very early on with how I needed to show up and what I needed to do. And so funny enough, the one of the first salons that I worked at, the gentleman was a global artistic director for Sebastian and then for Redken.
Oh, cool.
Casimir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kaz is amazing.
Yep.
So incredible.
Yep.
Was so influential in my journey. And at that time, while I was working there, it was a vision salon at the time. It was Warren Chacomi after that. And he said, Redken's looking for educators. And so if you really want to learn color, if you want to, like, teaching is such an incredible way to learn and to really master the craft of something. This is like, all right, I like to talk. I like to speak. I initially thought I was going to be a teacher. It's like, this totally works out. And I very quickly fell in love with the teaching side of things. And I was kind of really good at it. And this is the hilarious part. You guys, I was offered a corporate, like, regional educator role before I could rent a car. So I would check in. I had a team of 30 artists. But how I bamboozled those poor sweet people into trusting me with this role in this team, I have no idea. I used to check into Symposium or to like Las Vegas for things and fight with the hotel staff about reverse age discrimination because like, I'm here, this is my corporate card, I'm checking in, I'm working this event, and they're like, yes, miss, but it's a casino. You need to be 21 to check in. You have a roommate.
So then put a roommate.
Do you have an adult? Do you have an adult with you?
Literally, my dear friend Linda Ivanoff was always my roommate so that I could actually stay at the hotels that was required of me. Is that hilarious?
Wow.
Yeah, and so I've been able to have a super, I think, fruitful career. I spent 20 years at L'Oreal in different various education leadership roles, business development roles, and had the opportunity to work across the country, across the United States, with really looking at salon development, training artist teams, working with.
And how old were you at this point?
I started at L'Oreal full time when I was 20, and I left L'Oreal when I was 40. Essentially,
just saying all that by 20 years old and where you're at today, would you just think back and go, God, there's one thing I would change, or you wouldn't change a thing?
I wouldn't. I don't know that I would change much, quite honestly. And I think I would probably, because there was an area of where ignorance was bliss.
Yes.
Because I didn't ever know what I didn't know. And so I kind of just showed up and did the thing and had this hustle and had the hunger. And then I think, probably 10 years in that I started getting in my own head about things. So the only thing, and I have a really incredible story about a mentor who kind of called me on it on one day. And that was such a pivotal moment in my career where he kind of got me out of my head about things. Because
are you going to name him?
Colin Walsh. So Colin Walsh, he is now the CEO of Glossier. He's had an incredible career. He was, I think most recently he was a CEO at Way, and I've worked with him, on the L'Oreal side of things. so oftentimes we doubt ourselves because in most rooms, and I had the opportunity to be in boardrooms and executive meetings and everything else when I really had no business doing so.
Sure.
But I had great rapport. I was able to, be a subject matter expert in what I was doing. And funny enough, anytime I was in a boardroom, I would get so quiet because I'm like, I'm the youngest one here. These guys in suits, all these business people, like, I'm just going to listen and observe. And I would always share the ideas after, or I would, tell somebody else, I'm like, oh, what do you think about this? And Colin one time was like, you've got a great reputation. People say nice things about you. Like, I think you're good at what you do, but then I'm in a meeting with you and I don't get it. I was like, oh,
Really?
he's like, yeah, because you're just, like a fly on the wall. So,
Well, you just quiet down.
huh? He's like,
Yeah.
so you've got ideas, like contribute your ideas, contribute intelligently and contribute off. Oh
Like
no,
motivate you.
it was the best piece of advice in business advice that I've ever gotten because it gave me the permission of like, okay, contribute often and contribute intelligently. The intelligently is being the piece, right?
Yeah.
And so oftentimes I think so many of us get in our own heads about things of we
Uh,
show up smaller. So that would be the only thing that I would probably do differently earlier is just
But you probably had to be on that journey to have that lesson.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the best advice you received. What's the best advice you've given?
Don't play so small. Don't play so small. I think, when we look at the opportunities within the beauty industry, right? And again, I think all of us, even if you look at our career paths that have led us to have this conversation here today, there is so much. There's so much to be accomplished. There's so much to be had. There's so much of the world to be traveled. And I think with so many people that get into this industry, just where it's like, well, I'm just a hairdresser. I'm just a salon owner. And
Yeah.
there's not the pride of
And that verbiage needs to change.
verbiage needs to
Yeah.
change. And we
Yeah.
oftentimes limit ourselves to just being behind the chair or just
Yeah.
being in the service industry. And, there's nothing just about it. You're
Yeah.
actually doing doing incredible work. And so I think the biggest thing is the best piece of advice outside of, actually invest your money and do it quickly,
That bit.
is get out of your own head about it.
Yeah.
We're unique in many ways. The fact that, we doubt ourselves that's not what makes us unique. Everybody else does it. So do it anyway and stop
Yeah.
playing so small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that, especially on media, we're all on media today in the world. There's so many empowering videos that you see that show a hairdresser when people, and I've seen these over and over again on every platform. Hairdresser walks into the salon and it goes, oh, I'm just and then it shows like a doctor, a psychiatrist, a colorist, a hair cutter, a mom. It shows like all of these stages of what you do in one day as just a hairstylist. And it's so empowering, I think, to make people start to really think about like, no, like I'm more than that.
Mm-hmm.
When I come in behind the chair and I'm working with you, I'm way more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
no,
that's,
exactly.
it's not playing small.
And, even to that bit too, and it's kind of corny, but we're some of the fewest people in the professional world where we can actually change somebody's mood
Instantly.
for a better way, right?
And-
Like you go see your doctor, you're like, eh.
And the thing is that most people are not most. I would say 99% of people walking into your salon or your business space expecting to look better, to feel better.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one's coming in and saying, "Oh God, I can't wait to pay that $200 to
And make me
get feel worse and get that shot." They're expecting to walk
Yeah.
in and to leave you feeling empowered, amazing, and like the better version of themselves.
And I certainly can speak for myself. I mean, there's definitely been times in my career where I took that for granted.
Yeah.
And you forget that your job is to make people feel beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And once I kind of like turned that switch off, like it kind of changed the way that I approach my day too.
Yeah.
Because it's much more than just color and highlights.
Yeah.
Technical skill is the baseline that's a ticket out to entry. And honestly, I mean, who have you guys ever gotten back haircuts and still gone back to the person?
To myself that cuts my own hair? Absolutely. That's a weekly basis.
But let me actually ask you a question.
Yeah.
So you just said to myself that
Yeah.
cuts my hair. One of the questions that I ask salon professionals all the time is, when was the last time you paid to get your hair cut, or you paid to get your hair done in general? And sometimes they look at me like I've got two heads, because why would I ever pay to get my hair done when I have friends that do it? We barter, we do each other's, or I can do myself. And I think what's super important is being the client to retain the awareness of what feeling like the client is
Yeah.
essential for long-term success. Because what happens? Because think about, have you, one of the facts, right, is that 80% of people say that they've never had a professional hair consultation, while 80% of stylists say, of course, I always do a professional hair consultation.
Right.
And so when you think about how personalized everything else in the world is now, and the fact that most people are walking into salons feeling like they don't even have a consultation
Yeah.
is wild. And so
Yes.
actually being a client, understanding like, how does that feel? Are you on time? Is the service great? Are they educating me on product? Like that keeps your sword sharp or your shears sharp
Yeah.
so much. And it's something that, I tell salon professionals all the time. I'm like, go pay to get a blowout. It's going to be the best $50 that you spend.
Yeah.
It's going to take so much more for you to impact on your own business. Sorry.
No,
And,
no, no.
and have you like asked ChatGPT for a professional hair hair consultation?
No, should I?
Oh yeah, you should. So take a picture.
Can I
If
use
you guys,
Claude?
Claude, whoever your chat is, whoever
Uh-huh.
whoever it is, take a picture of yourself or a friend, whoever, if you don't feel comfortable doing yourself, and ask them for a professional hair consultation.
You take a picture of yourself and you go like roast me.
Give me a professional hair consultation, right?
What did
it
yours
is-
say?
Oh my god, no! It's like your cheekbones are this, da 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 da. Your
Yeah.
product is this. You can use a little. I mean, literally, it is the most detailed, thorough thing. And so, I'm like, if that's what we're competing against as professionals, and I walk in and sit into in a chair, and you're like, oh, same as last time.
Yeah.
Are we going? Do you want to? That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you got.
Yeah.
And funny enough is, one of the other questions I always ask is, who gets their nails done? Has your nail person ever asked you, have you ever had a professional nail consultation? And most people are like, no, is that a thing? And it's like, well, according to your nail technician, they always ask same color or what shape.
Yeah.
That to them was a nail
That's
consultation.
the nail. Yeah.
So how is that different than, are we doing anything different and same color? Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So the importance now, especially with the human connection in what we do, is incredibly more important than ever before, because they get all that from chat.
Yeah. I usually just point to the wall and say, I want that. Number 35.
Yeah.
That's in Armenia, little Armenia. I go.
There you go.
I want the 35.
35,
Yeah.
I just had a little like panic attack because I'm like, I need to know 35 haircuts.
Yeah.
What? They were kind of cool though. Back in the 90s when we had the magazine. You
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
pick
Oh,
one. I
totally.
went that one.
Yeah.
So good.
Like look through the book
Look through
and
the
go
book.
like, I want that.
Man, how life has changed the last 30 years since we've been on here. Because we went to the magazines,
Uh-huh.
and then everybody had their like professional, their own magazine, right,
Yeah.
of all their stuff. And now, and then of
Now you
course
got
social
Instagram,
medias, and now you compete with everyone's work.
Uh-huh.
I have a
Yeah.
rule though, like I mean, it's not so much now, but like when Presley Poe was doing all of her colors, I like don't bring me a Presley Poe picture. We're not duplicating.
Yeah.
We're not duplicating that. Out of all respect, like.
But it's it's showing your expertise though, right? And
Sure.
like attracting the clientele that you want, and like really being intentional with that, because how terrible does it feel for, well, I don't know if it feels terrible, but why not have your work be the one that other clients are taking to their hairstylist versus always being the client on the receiving end
yeah.
of someone
Yeah,
else's creation?
Yeah. I'm playing small, like you said.
Get it. Get after it.
That's so crazy. It's what? Just talk about social media for just a second. Like, I was blown away. By how much great work is around the country.
Yeah.
You play in your own small town, whatever, and they only have the traction scene done or by your friends or by, you see stuff around the community. But then like the Instagram, blew up in whatever 14 or 15, and you're like, there's some really talented people all over the place, and they're not just in LA or they're not just in New York.
Yeah.
All over
Or
the
also, if
country.
you work for a big brand, you get inundated with the community that you're with the whole time. So you're playing big with only the big players in your brand.
Amen.
So then when you're like, oh, all of a sudden you're looking at media and going like, oh, that brand over there is doing like really big work. And it's like, boy.
You know what? I mean, that's a good point too, because like I grew up in like grew up in a Wella salon, and then I went with another company that was a Redken salon, and it was like these communities, right? Like every time I went to a Wella, it was like Sonia and Chris on stage, or every time I went to a Redken, it was Sam or whoever else on stage, And then I also, maybe this is another belief. Hold on, we'll talk about this. So then there was only like 10 spots to get recognized in the entire industry.
Yeah.
Right? Like the top of these like brands, and like there were so many people fighting for that attention. And then what social media did is it leveled everything.
Yeah. You essentially have your own platform versus waiting for anyone to give you a platform.
Yeah.
Completely.
Mhm.
Completely. And I think that was really good. I think it was really good for the industry, even for our own little egos.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just to be recognized and just to be seen, because the number one thing we always seek as humans is to be seen and heard.
Yeah.
And it was an opportunity for us to be seen and heard for the thing that we love the most.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You
But
know?
that's where also Not Playing Small comes in, because you can create your own
Yeah.
platform. So go for it.
Yep.
Mhm. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
speaking of media, if anyone's not following Anna,
Yes.
follow her, because there's one thing that sticks in my head
Oh,
every
tell us.
single Friday. And you know what I'm going to say?
Let's talk finance.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk finance.
Every single time you go, it's Friday. Let's talk finance. I'm like, God, it's Friday. I
It's
know it's
Friday.
Friday because we're going to talk
I
finance.
love it.
And that's what I always get out of that on your media when I'm watching. I'm like, it is Friday. And we're
Let's
going to talk
talk
finance.
Let's talk finance.
I think
Let's
it's-
talk finance.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's talk finance.
Let's do it. You know, so I told you about my origin story into this country, and interestingly enough, I think what has led me to be able to talk finance is I spent many years working with many salons, many stylists, leading teams, working with artists, creatives just all across this industry. And regardless of whether somebody was like an internationally known platform artist, or they were a small independent stylist in the middle of the country, or they were a multi-million-dollar salon owner, what I found, or a killer editorial stylist, like what I found, regardless of the level of success and the level of space that they were playing in, what people had no idea of was what to do with the money that they were making. You know, coming in,
Cocaine and whiskey don't count?
cocaine and whiskey don't count. And the crazy thing is, you know, coming in again as a refugee to this country, the conversations around our dinner table was, okay, we got $20 for the next 2 weeks. How do we make it last? It was not around, you know, generational wealth and planning for investments, and this portfolio is doing this, and oh my goodness, honey, we should invest in this. Like, that was not a conversation. And so working across this industry and looking at what a need there was for, like, wait a minute, these people are literally spending their careers taking care of everyone else, and are ending their careers oftentimes with a GoFundMe account.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when I was looking at about 15 years of my career, I started looking for financial resources and financial education to bring to the brands that I was working with at the time. And even as a successful quote unquote executive and, you know, somebody that looked really great on paper, every single time I would go to talk to a financial advisor, any sort of finance professional, I left there feeling completely mentally handicapped, completely overwhelmed, and just like so ashamed of I don't know these things, and why is this so
It's
complicated?
what they don't teach in school. I tell everybody is like financial literacy.
Baseline.
Like, they teach you how to pass a board for the state, but they don't tell you when you start making money, what do you do with it?
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
And you know, it's so I
Cocaine and whiskey.
cocaine and whiskey. Listen, cocaine and whiskey. But that's the thing, is that I started really looking for, I'm like, what is it that I want to do for the next 30 years of my career? And so I started getting my financial accreditations to be able to essentially be a translator of what finance is and what these terms mean, so that people are empowered to be able to ask the questions and make decisions that are great, that are better for them. And so I became a certified financial educator. I got my baseline securities license. I recently just became a licensed fiduciary to be able to really no, but a licensed fiduciary is actually the only financial profession, the only license where you have to legally do what's in the best interest of the client versus what's suitable for the client. So I can't trick you into, so it's like the highest ethical standard within the finance world. Yeah. So
polices this and manages this, that you're being like ethical.
You what?
Who's policing
FINRA,
it? That
yeah, FINRA does. So the Securities Exchange Commission and FINRA. So they because there are governing bodies, right, that want to make sure that people are not being completely taken advantage of. Because if you think about like Bernie Madoff's and you know, there's been so much.
By the way, is that ironic that his name was Madoff?
Like he made off.
He made off. But there are a lot of systems put in place so that the average person doesn't get fully taken advantage of. And so depending on what license you have, depending on what part of finance you are, different governing bodies oversee that. But you can because you can really cause some damage if you're not being ethical.
So what is
I saw
are you
Wall
like
Street.
a financial conservatorship? You know, like Britney
I could
Spears?
do that. Yeah, I could do that. Now,
like take over my finances in the best interest of me.
Yeah, be careful what you do because you're acting a little crazy. I'm like, Gina, we gotta
like
step away.
Yeah, I like to dance with knives.
We've seen the videos. No, you're up.
So, you know, the reality is that so many of our professions. So a couple of years ago, funny enough, I shared this at Serious Business. A couple of years ago, I fell down the rabbit hole of it's called We Love Hair Education. It's a Facebook group. And there was over 800 comments on this one post. So the post was, there's a hairdresser in Canada asked, what do you guys do in the United States for retirement? And the answers, over 800, were wild. So first one.
What was the question again?
What do hairdressers in the United States do for retirement? Okay, over 800 answers. The post is still up there. It's buried. It's a couple of years old now. Get yourself a sugar daddy. Marry someone rich. Curl up and die. We don't retire. We die with scissors in our hand, like a soldier does. Yeah, you've heard me say this. Yeah. And it was like, are you? If it wasn't so terrible, like, I mean, we're laughing at it, or because we would otherwise be crying about it. And so, when you think about the average service provider and how much impact they have on people's daily lives, and the fact that there's no financial literacy, we have no idea what to do with the money that we're making. And so I've been able to work with some really great brands, work across the industry to kind of change that narrative.
Yeah.
Because you can, I don't want anybody else to have the experience that I did of how dare you embarrass the family, because it's still seen as not a profitable profession to a lot of the world.
Yes.
I think we all have the responsibility to change that.
Sure. And I'm not going to name any names. I do have some friends who are a lot older than this round table right here. Who
Even me?
Even you.
Okay.
Even you.
Even you,
Grampy.
Oh,
who are about 2-3 years away from retirement, and they are not financially secure. And they absolutely tell me, they're like, I'm one of those hairdressers that just never cared about my finances, and now I'm worried.
Of course.
And I'm like looking at them going like, I'm worried for you, because the way life is going, I don't know what is going to happen.
Yep.
So that has stuck with me as a very young hairdresser.
Yeah. Well, once we understand, because it's, when you ask most salon professionals about sales or about business or about finance, the first kind of, knee-jerk response is, oh, I'm an artist. I don't talk numbers. Because we're terrified of not knowing, or how much shame there is around not knowing. And it's like, if you can do color correction, and one of the things that I always say is, like, if you can do an intense color correction, or if you can hold someone's hand before you are about to shave their head because they're going through a treatment, if you have the emotional and intelligence to be able to handle these kind of situations, you can understand how compound interest works. Yeah. 100%. Like, we're so much more intelligent than your average finance bro.
But I think it gives hairdressers like a gateway out, going like, I'm a hairdresser. I don't understand that stuff. So it's like,
Well, that's when you are just a hairdresser.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Yeah.
True.
And, when we look at, you're saying the timing is perfect now. Like, when we look at, if you start investing over a long period of time, and just, again, take the fear out of it, take the mystery out of it. Like, let's show you a couple of quick things and let that money work for you. Set it and forget it.
Yep.
Invest it, plant the seeds so it can continue to compound
Money-making
and grow.
money.
Money-making money. Exactly.
Money.
It's been really transformational to see some of the
And
stories
it's like-
coming out of it.
And
Yeah.
making money is sexy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. I'm like, yes, please.
Well, because when money is making money, you didn't invest.
Say that again?
When money, like, if I put $100
Yeah.
in, right, and then after a year is now $110, that $10 I didn't invest.
No, it's literally you money making you money.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that a lot of people wait until there's like the when I will.
Yeah.
And life only gets busier and life only gets more complicated. So don't wait until you've got the perfect income. Don't wait until all of your debt is
Life
paid
gets more
off.
expensive.
100%.
So your investments now are triple the amount that you could have started probably investing back in the day.
And cash in the bank is actually the quickest depreciating asset.
Yeah.
So if you had, $100 or $1,000 20 years ago, it's only, like, in today's money, it only would have been worth about $606, because
I'm rich then.
Well, like, listen. But I use the example of, like, okay, so the average hairdresser, what's hairdresser diet?
What's what?
What's a hairdresser diet?
Cocaine and whiskey.
More expensive.
Coffee and
Coffee and, right? So it's coffee and cigarettes. It used to be coffee and cigarettes. Then it was like coffee and Red Bull. Then it's coffee and Celsius, whatever it is. But coffee's always the base of it. And so one of the things that I, like to talk about is, all right, I'm never going to knock you for your morning Starbucks. You want it, you got it, it brings you joy, 100% get it. But be aware of what you're doing and really think about, how do you think about being an investor in things, not just a consumer of things. So Starbucks every day, 20 years, 16 drinks a month. 20 years time, you've consumed about $27,000 of Starbucks. Consumed, zero to show for it. For it. If you invest that same amount, if you would have invested that same exact amount that you were consuming into the Starbucks stock and actually were like, wait a minute, I'm buying this all the time. My friends are buying this all the time. There's a line every time I go into it. Let me invest in the company itself that is making this product. Your portfolio would have been over $116,000.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I think it's like a default. People like that tangible now. So like the coffee that they buy is like, it's in my hand now. And as opposed, like you're saying, if you invest, you don't see it.
But that's the thing is that, don't just be, I'm not knocking getting the things that you want. I'm not
totally,
like,
yeah,
don't get anything, only invest. No, live your life. Have
Yeah.
the things that you want, but be mindful of investing in the things that you like.
Oh, no,
not just consuming.
I'd rather invest personally myself. So I'm an investing fanatic.
Are you? I
Oh,
love
I
it.
absolutely. You better believe it. I invest in everything. Everything.
Everything you love.
Everything I love and everything that I think that the future is heading towards.
Yeah.
What was your
Absolutely.
latest investment?
My latest investment was a company called KITT Kit. They actually make
David.
they make AI robotic stingrays that can identify nuclear submarines in the water and destroy them.
Wow.
Is that real?
And they're undetectable. Undetectable. Yeah. So the stingrays is a German Tectonics AI platform generated stingrays that they're building. They'll put them into the water. It'll detect where nuclear submarines are, and they will go after them and get them out.
That's incredible.
And again, I'm not talking about whatever's happening in the world today, but I'm thinking what could happen in the future.
A really good little hack, and this is not financial advice, just some things that would be good to
We
know.
like hacks.
right?
Yeah,
We like
I
hacks.
like financial advice too, so give it to us.
Well, yes. That's educational purposes only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
I'm not here to advise you.
someone's- of like, and then they're going to come after you if it goes bust, right?
Yeah,
So-
like what does me? That's what I like. Yeah.
100%. But everything that is, because there's certain, it's really hard to time the market. It's actually kind of impossible to time the market, and we are living through so much tribulation that you just don't know. It's like a roller.
It's a volatile.
Complete roller coaster. But there are so many resources to see what are politicians doing, what are Congress people doing, what are CEOs doing.
Oh yeah, what's that?
All of that has to be publicly acknowledged. And
Do you follow LA Controller
I don't
on social media?
No.
Oh,
Do I don't think so.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's the controller who controls all of what, you just said it, all the politicians, what they're looking at, what they're investing in, and what's coming to. That's how I actually find some of my investments.
That's such a good hack. Yeah, there's apps called like Quiverquaint. There's Wolf of Wall Street. There's Market Watch. There's a couple of them that have to list all the public all the trades, and that's a good. I mean,
Can you invest? Do you just look at what they're investing in, or can you do it in real time? Because a lot of times,
it's
like
after the fact.
Yeah, a lot of times, like in order to invest in said or to profit from said, you have to invest while they're investing.
Yeah, a lot of times
Kind of catch them before the
public not announcements, the notification or the
our
disclosed
post.
our post. Yeah, usually is. But you can kind of study it and see where trends are going.
Absolutely.
And if nothing else, do something with a really high diversification. So again, S&P 500, VOO, those things are always a safe.
Yeah.
Most of the time are very safe.
I'm so glad we're talking about this because I'm one of those stupid hairdressers, and I say this.
Excuse me.
Why? No, I say this because in my stupidity I've only taken really control of my own financial destiny about 11 years ago.
Okay.
I've been doing hair for about 22, 23 years. I was exactly that artist. I'm an artist. Why do I need to know about financials? This and that. No, I'm going to be a rock and roll hairstylist. I'm going to cut hair, all this. That was my thinking.
Yeah.
And then I started to get into listening to business podcasts, reading business books. And then there was a gentleman that I listened to, and I can't even remember his name, but I know what he looks like. I think he's actually a Persian or Armenian billionaire. And he said in one of his books, he goes, if you want to change the world, build a business. And at that time, I'm big into charity. That's how, we met. And I was like, wow, so if I want to change the world, I got to build a business. And I started to think about one of his questions was, what is your business? And I had to sit there and go like, well, I'm a hairdresser, but I'm like, no, I'm more than that.
Yeah.
Like, how do I? So long story short is, as a hairdresser, how do you make money? You have to be behind the chair. You have to be on a hair show. You have to be with your clients on set. So the only way as a hairdresser to me is to make money is you have to be there. And that's not money making money. That's me using my energy to make money.
Yeah.
So I had to come about in a financial platform way of figuring out how am I going to get money to make money that I'm never there or while I'm sleeping. And that's what changed my mindset to start investing and start building things that I've created.
Good.
And to take control of my destiny and my own future. So while I'm sleeping, I'm making money. And that's sexy to me.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And you know what? It's one of those, we're one of the industries that the longer we're in it, the less money we make because we don't account for physical decline. We don't account for cost of inflation every single year. We don't account for client attrition, and we don't plan for financial investments.
And a lot of hairdressers don't like to raise their prices. Oh, no, I can't raise Betty Sue. She's been a client of mine for 30 years. Well, she's paying 30-year prices back then, and prices of everything is, like you said, going up.
Exactly. Yeah, so, no, it's wild. I mean, your money, have lost, again, over the last 20 years, the value of the dollar has lost 40% of its value.
Wow, that's crazy. I kind of think like when we talk about price raises a little bit, the way that I kind of think about it, and I'm not always great at it, but is that when inflation goes up, now you're paying that client to come in.
Yeah. Well, that's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah.
Literally. Exactly. So it's like, this is costing me more money and I'm not charging you more. So it's literally, I'm paying you to come see me. So now what was $100 service is now a $90 service because it's costing me $10 more for you to sit in my chair.
Yeah, exactly. But not just that, then you think about your cost of color has gone up. Your cost of
This is my point, right? Like all of that, all that stuff, like, and whatever the number is, it doesn't matter. But, and that same $100 service, if you don't raise your prices annually or whenever, like if you go 4 or 5 years, now that same $100 service is now costing you $25 for them to come see you than it did a couple years ago. So I kind of talked to my ego a little bit, like, why am I paying her to come to see me? Like, that doesn't make sense, as opposed to like because otherwise you get into the like you said, oh, Betty Sue's coming in. I've seen her for a long time, but I still shouldn't be paying Betty Sue to come see me.
Betty Sue, I gotta fire her.
Poor Betty Sue.
Oh, poor Betty Sue.
We love Betty.
Poor Betty Sue. Yeah. So, let's talk about other business.
Yeah,
I want to hear about. So we've talked. Gino and I've been talking a lot about his experience at Serious Business. What was yours like?
Oh my goodness, I had the most amount of FOMO.
Was that your first, by the way?
It was, and I had the most amount of FOMO for like 5 years before that because there was always something else going on. Because January in their industry is like there's so many things, and so for years I had been wanting to go. And the year after, Gordon Miller was like, "No, you really have to get there. You really have to get there."
I kind of wish Gordon was here.
I know, he's the best.
I texted him and cussed him out for not being here.
Yeah, he
says, "I'm sad to miss it, but I'm not sad not to be on a plane."
But I'm not getting on a plane. Exactly. And so when I was able to connect with the team and they invited me to actually be a part of the event, it was such a great career highlight because hearing about it for so many years and then actually being able to experience it not only from a talent standpoint, but then also being in the room with so many incredible speakers, so many incredible businesses, and then seeing how inspired everyone was when they left. Oh,
in a real way.
A real way, because I mean, looking at from the leader of like AI technology and how do you adapt that to your business there was so many, from mental health to personal design, human design to, there was so much around real actionable, inspirational, but really tactical tips that were shared. That really set up everybody that came for the year. I loved it. Cannot say enough good things about him.
I loved it. So I learned about it like 3 years ago, right? A friend of mine went and he was posting about it. I'm like, what is this thing? You know what I mean? And then I had the opportunity to go last year and absolutely blown away by
they're
it.
Fantastic.
Like I can't even really put it into words. I mean, I try, but you just sit there and you're blown away by all the information that you're getting, and you feel like a better person leaving, and you feel like a more focused person leaving. And again, the people are just great there. And huge shout out to the Neal Corporation. And all the people that are involved with that, from Deborah to Garrison to.
I think the first one I went to was the second Serious Business that was ever done.
Oh wow!
And that was at the. Oh, were we at the Sager Theater this year?
Yeah, we're at the Sager. Yeah.
It was at another theater, when they first started it up. And I actually, honestly, I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was a hair show.
Okay.
Not knowing. I was
hair show? It's not a hair show.
And I was at that time going to New Orleans to Serious Business more for the parting of New Orleans than to actually learn about business.
Interesting.
And this time around, as I went there a couple times in my younger industry days,
Mhm.
and now it's an older industry, I was there for business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that's that paradigm shift of taking control of what we're talking about now is your business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And your business is all of you. It's the mental, the
Yeah.
body taking care of on the latter half of your career. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
how do you show up?
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course. And how do you sustain it? And
How do you
maintain
sustain it,
and
right?
not decline and
and serious business kind of at least for me, it gave me all of that stuff to kind of think about and to do. It's definitely one of my favorite places to be.
yeah,
In January, New Orleans. I mean,
not a bad spot.
I'm in the Mid-Atlantic, so
Yeah.
it's a good break.
I was gonna say this year was pretty damn cold though.
New Orleans.
It was chilly.
Oh, it was
chilly.
cold.
Was it?
It was
It
cold.
wasn't DC cold, but it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
But it's that whole Gulf Coast though, like 50 degrees is different there.
That's why
Yeah.
you pick up what are those grenades? What do they drink? Those daiquiris or whatever.
Those things.
Yeah, those things. I don't know.
I'm like, I'm doing hot chocolate, thank you. Right?
Yeah. I didn't have one of those
Yeah.
because those would knock you on your butt. And yeah.
Hot chocolates?
No, the daiquiris.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
We
I'm
were
not-
there for actual serious business. So
yeah, we were. Yeah, so yeah.
serious.
Yeah, come on.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I was
It was serious
so-
business.
Oh.
That's cool. Are you'll be back next year?
I certainly hope so. I'm planning
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gina and I will definitely be there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So we'll be there. We'll be recording some there.
We'll buy you a crawfish
A crawfish, fantastic.
just one,
thank
though.
you.
Just
one.
because
Okay.
prices are going up.
That's right. We'll split the bill. We'll split the bill.
Yeah, split the bill.
One crawfish.
One crawfish.
We're talking about that. We did find a beautiful restaurant 45 minutes outside of the quarter.
He's going 45 minutes outside
Exactly.
the quarters.
One of the girls that was with us, she is from New Orleans and never been to the West Bank, which is across the bridge, 45 minutes inwards. It was one of the best New Orleans Creole Cajun food eating she's had. And she's
Wow.
born and raised in New Orleans.
We're gonna have to share that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, share that.
We're definitely talking to Tatum about that when he comes on.
Oh,
Monday.
it's
You tell we're all hungry. We're
Yeah,
all
no,
hungry.
yeah.
Let's talk about the food all the
I
time.
always talk about food though.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just love it.
It all comes back to food.
Yeah,
Totally.
Always.
Actually, when I was going last year, Tatum sent me like a Google spreadsheet of all the restaurants and every place I need to go in New Orleans. I go, oh, that's awesome.
That's golden.
That
That's
is
fantastic.
gold. Yeah, especially from a local.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool. So, did you have a relationship with the Neal family before Serious
No,
Business?
no,
Yeah.
it was a new relationship, and I'm very, very honored to.
How did
have
you?
such
So
a
you
kickoff.
did you get that relationship through Gordon?
No, they found me. I think I don't. I think Gordon may have tipped them in my direction a little bit,
Okay.
and then when was it Deborah that we'd reached out? We it was through Instagram.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
through the Finance Friday. They caught a Friday at some point and talked
I'm telling
finance.
you,
They
it's
were
that
like, "Hey,
jingle.
this is interesting.
You
yeah.
need a little jingle background now. It's Friday.
Cash
Yeah.
registers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could do
We could do that.
They could do that.
I could do it for you right now.
I know you're good. You've got all the tools.
A little nutty.
But yeah, a lot.
Keeps
a
it
lot,
interesting. Keeps it interesting.
Totally interesting. So, what's up next for you, man? What do you have
Oh my goodness, I've got so much going on. So for the rest of Premiere, Premiere is literally next
Yep.
after ABS, which is fantastic. I've got a couple more classes happening here. There's something exciting actually. So
happening?
at this particular weekend, because I'm teaching 2 classes, Finance 101 and
Daytime.
daytime, but for anybody that either wasn't able to make it here or that wants to learn about actual finance and take a course at their own pace, and they can ask any questions and do anything else, they're actually able to, for anyone that's like on Level Rewards or downloads Level Rewards through like any of the L'Oreal brands, Level Rewards, and then you use the code THRIVE for a smart finance class. And I've partnered with them for this weekend to be able to redeem that, which is a huge deal.
Heck yeah.
And then after May 1st, there's a brand new class, License to Thrive, also talks about like
I love
Paycheck
that.
One. I trademarked that last year. It's like, wait a minute, how is this available? But same deal. Anybody wants a finance class, literally at your own fingertips, download Level Rewards, go to either Smart Finance or License to Thrive, enter in #Thrive, and they get a $250 class for free.
and
Super excited
what are
about
they
that.
what are they learning in that class?
Finance 101, everything. So when we talk about
So
understanding,
yeah.
let's go. How does money grow? How do you invest? How do you open a brokerage account? How do you
And with
literally-
opening brokerage accounts
Yeah.
too, like I also want to from like certainly when we were younger, it was like
Yeah.
hard to invest. Like
Yeah.
you needed people.
Yeah.
And now you've got like just apps where you can just like boom, boom.
Yeah,
And like,
exactly.
and I'm sure like even in that like Stingray thing, like you just opened your
Oh,
Robinhood
that's-
and you went, here we
that's
go.
through my app.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you need that to be able to. And so one of the number one questions is like, okay, well, how do I actually invest? So
Yeah.
you open a brokerage account. Then one of those classes also take you step by step through that. And then I'll be a Premier, I'll be a Reckon Symposium and the business forum there.
Yeah.
So lots coming up for the rest of the year. And then I have, so one of the things that I launched last year was Beautiful Wealth Academy, where there is so much education to really trying to, again, continue to change the narrative in the industry.
Sure.
So there's a free money guide of 7 steps that you need to know, like of all the many, many years and many, many finance books and accreditations and everything else. I've kind of narrowed it down into 4 kind of mastery points that people need to know, and they can download that.
Well, that's what I find beautiful about like a financial mentor is all the things that you have compressed in the many decades, and you put it into pieces where if someone comes in and is scared of finance, you can give it to them and go like, wow.
It's digestible. I mean,
Yeah.
I've spent, 27 years in professional education and like teaching to adults and really understanding for the creative brain of what so many of us have such short attention spans. We're overwhelmed with, taking care of everyone else. Like, how do we get this as easy as possible, as clear as possible, and as digestible as possible so
Yeah.
we actually start to make changes that will lead to long-term change.
And when you invest or when you advise to invest, how much are you recommending like into like a mutual fund and then into like a direct stock?
ETFs are probably going to be better for most people than mutual funds.
What's the difference?
So great question. So things like a 401k, things that are professionally managed are going to be mutual funds. So you're going to have a higher cost ratio and they're more expensive to get into. So if you have a 401k, you've got a mutual funds. ETFs are things that you can do yourself that are similar in the diversification of they're still going to have a ton of different companies in there.
So it's diversifying per dollar.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. ETFs for most people are going to be the like VOO, S&P 500. Those things are going to be where you're going to be able to get easy access, easy in terms of diversification and long-term results.
And does the ETF, can you, like a mutual, you can like invest in like tech stocks or you can invest in, so you can do all that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, different different tickers will have different segments of the market that you're focusing on. So some are going to be more tech heavy, some are going to be more pharmaceutical heavy, defense heavy. So you could either have a super broad range or you can go specifically more into a sector.
And do you have personally the way that you invest, do you have like I would assume now like defense stuff would be really good. Like, so do you, I don't want to talk politics at all. However, like, we have a more conservative leaders now, and where a lot of that money gets invested more into defense stuff. So do you take your money and move it in, like knowing that
it
there
depends
could be more investment there? Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm trying to.
You're trying to find out the way that things are moving.
Yeah,
I've tended to diversify a little bit, but I'm kind of a.
What do you invest in? What was you?
Yeah, what was your last investment?
What was your last investment?
What was my last investment?
Was it a Stingray?
I know, but I can't. I need to check that out. I'm trying to think. The last one that I got, I think, was. Oh my goodness. Honestly, it's not even a new thing. Like Palantir and all those guys were on because the market declined so much. So it wasn't even a new stock. It was an existing one. It was
but if it goes down.
It went on sale, so to speak, and I got some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of just long term, low cost. Again, SPY, VOO, and I keep saying those things, but because I've also lost some money of getting into things that were more volatile. And it's like, oh, the upside could be really good, but then,
Did you beat yourself up about it, or you just said that's how the game goes?
No, that's how the game goes.
That's how
Yeah,
the
Is
game
there a
goes.
stock that you're excited about? Because I could tell you one that I bought about 4 years ago, and I'm so excited to see it grow. And I'll just say it is because it's Virgin Galactic.
Ah, interesting.
And they're revamping all of their.
Is this like Virgin, like Richard
Yeah.
Branson Virgin?
Yes, yeah, but he's building space shuttles.
Oh yeah.
And actually, in the past 3 years, they stopped funding. 2026, there's a new brand of funding, and now they're pulling out a whole fleet of spaceships because I feel like we just said, like the Artemis and NASA, and I'm so excited because I feel like that stock might hopefully do really well.
Has
I'm just
potential.
excited.
Let's say potential.
Well, it's on a rise.
There's
so
a not to nerd out completely, but there's God, I can't remember the name of the company, but anyways, it's this it's a solid state battery
Mhm.
that EV cars are going to use. That's much better and more
safer,
efficient.
cleaner.
Well, because the batteries that are used in EVs now are liquid based, so they have a shorter lifespan.
Right.
And so these solid states they charge much quicker because they also don't use as much energy, and they're getting like 750, 800 miles per
charge.
and they charge
Wow.
faster.
Huh.
And they charge. It's this German company, and Mercedes. They're going to be like their first launch is going to be in like super elite cars, like not even just a Mercedes, but like like a high level Mercedes car. But God, I wish I could remember the name of the company now, but I can't. But anyways, it's very interesting to me, like because it's clear to me that sustainable cars or whatever it's going to be the future.
Yeah.
And I love this the solid state because I think the hiccup certainly in the EV, if you're not in LA, is like it's hard to like travel on it. You can commute on it, but how do you travel on like an EV car without it taking 5 days to do? So this, and again, they charge faster, and I believe they're quicker. I mean, they're cheaper to make too.
Yeah.
So
The only word of caution for anyone listening and they're
please.
like, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this." The only word of caution that I would have is stocks are typically, this is my fiduciary duty coming in, but stocks are considered to be really high risk.
Sure.
Right. So I think for anyone that's kind of getting started, and that's why like things like ETFs, the broad range will give you diversification.
Sure.
So then if you want to start to play around with individual stocks, you can make a ton of money. You can also lose some money. Lose some money. So just, don't, diversification is a very important thing.
Diversification first.
Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket, especially for something that is
What if you know
volatile.
it's going to hit?
Would you, if you're okay with losing that amount?
But this is the game, right?
This is the game. If
It
you're
is a
okay with
gamble.
losing it, then go for it.
Go for it.
And the younger you are, the more aggressive you can be because you have time. This is the long game. You've got time to make it back.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's awesome, man.
That is awesome. Well, I have a ton of conservative, and then I play aggressive on certain things. So I can have my conservative stuff.
Yeah, you want to have your fixed growth instruments. You want to have some solid long-term ones that are going to give you growth, and then play around to see what's going to hit.
That's awesome. And how can people find you?
Oh my goodness, you can find me at a Manukyan on Instagram. You can find me at beautifulwealth.com. That's where a lot of the financial education lives. Those are the two places, and I can't wait to see everybody live at one of these events as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of free financial advice?
It's literally the best gift you can give to yourself that'll get you for decades to come. Oh, and download your guide, you guys. So not only download your guide, because that's literally free of like all the mastery points, and then get your free class with through level rewards on Thrive.
That's awesome.
Hashtag Thrive. So level rewards, create an account, go into Smart Finance or into License to Thrive, and then enter in hashtag Thrive and get your free class. And I'm happy to answer any questions that they have as well. Good.
That totally sounded like a Starbucks order.
It totally did, right?
That's awesome. Anna, thank you so much for having
we did this.
Yeah, selfishly, like it's like I've got another friend in life now.
Absolutely.
Like I can't wait to see you, and outside of like the white couch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Corey.
That's cool.
Thank you. We got Persian food to come and honey.
Honey, that's right.
You give us honey, we'll give you Persian food in LA.
Yeah.
We have Persian food.
Yeah, I'm just telling
you. Rafi's, you don't.
I'm just telling you.
Dude. All right. Well, I'll be in LA. Like I said, I'll be in LA, and then we'll have to do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I have to extend my trip.
Oh,
Here was the plan. I was going to fly out after work on Saturday, fly to LA. He's picking me up at the airport at like 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And then I've got an event on Sunday, and then I was going to fly back Monday morning. But maybe I should if I fly back Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm leaving for Hawaii the next week. And from the East Coast, that's a big deal.
Like you're better off almost staying and going, but
but I got a family.
Yeah.
I like to be married.
Of course, yeah.
True.
Wives are not overrated. Wives are not overrated.
Oh.
Sometimes husbands can be. Wives are never overrated.
That's a fair point.
Is that financial advice?
Actually, yes. Actually, yes.
And that's all. Here's really good financial advice: is really marry the one you're staying forever with.
Absolutely.
Because if that breaks, that costs you a lot.
Yeah,
of money.
It does.
That costs you a lot. I've never been that way, but
yeah,
that break. That's
why you're saving money.
That's
you're saving money.
That's
there
cool.
you go.
Miss Anna
Manukyan. Yes, you got it.
Oh, did I get it?
You did.
Manukyan.
Manukyan.
Anna Manukyan. Thank you for hanging out.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome, man. I'm excited. I'm fired up now.
I'm fired up too.
Anna Manukyan.
I'm gonna
Thank
go
you
blow all my
very,
money.
very much for joining us on your day off.